Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody inside and outside the ballpark. My name is NovedPlayer, and welcome to episode 59 of the Noved Knows podcast, where we talk to many different types of creators and communities inside the platform. I'm your host, and with me today, I have one of the biggest creators when it comes to PVP systems inside of VRChat. We have the legendary ArcStation AvatarPVP. GoFluffYaSelf. Fluff. Welcome on. Hope you're doing well.
Well, thank you for having me here. This is awesome. I don't know if I would be the legendary, but thank you. nice, hello. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Well, first and foremost, Fluff, for the general listening audience at home, what exactly do you do inside of VRChat?
So, okay, and there goes my tracking. That's a good start. Okay, I pretty much so the best way I can explain it to people that aren't even like into VR or like VR chat in general as much. If you ever watch Ready Player One, and have you seen the beginning of the show where they're all kind of murdering each other and they're fighting over the planet, Planet Doom? That's kind of the best explanation of what Avatar PvP is. In VR chat, there's like all different things you could do within the Unity system. So you have these things called particles. And actually, would I be able to shoot my gun?
Yeah, go for it.
In here to explain. Okay, I won't shoot you. I'll just shoot over there. No, but, pretty much as normally particles can be used for anything, whether fire effects or just like cool like fairy lights or whatever, or you could use it as gun effects. So if I shoot that at the end of the particle, that's or end of the gun, that's a particle. You can use that to interact with your friends in worlds. So whatever avatar you want to create or anything that you want to put together, you could kind of interact with another person with it. It's using them in the world. So it's weird. I don't know how to explain it too much, but you can kill your friends. You can...
Fair enough.
That's pretty much the main thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously with your systems that you made, you have many different communities across VRChat that use these systems. So I guess kind of one of the first things before we go too far into like the community side. So what made you actually before we even get to that much, there's gonna be a lot of tangents. So what got you into VRChat in the first place?
VRChat. So okay, it's gonna sound really weird. I started playing like October of 2017. I saw this guy on YouTube named Joey Bagels, or it's forgot exactly. I think Nags21. I think he still streams today. He's a very big streamer online. But I was just literally on my couch one day, like VR. What was it 2016 is when VR kind of popped off, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is so cool! Like, you have this headset, you do all these cool things, and like see you're actually in the game." And I'm like, "Yeah." So I was super into it, always watching it. And on YouTube, sitting on the couch with little chicken nuggets, just eating, and this video popped up, Joey Bagels, and it was like a whole introduction to VR chat. Ever since then, I downloaded the game, and I've been like addicted to just creating stuff and wanting to do things in VR. Like, so it's pretty cool. That's how I got into it.
But... Oh, fair enough. So I guess kind of to go into that a little bit. So what made you want to create stuff for VRChat? Like, was there obviously there's been a lot, but what were some of the things that made you want to create stuff?
So it's just I always like creating things and like putting things together in general. Honestly, I don't really know the idea what made me want to start. More of just seeing more of like trying to push what VRChat can do, or seeing what VRChat can be. That was really the main idea. Is like, how can we one up what they like given us the tools and the things that you could do in VRChat? How can you do more with that? Like kind of push the limits. That's kind of more of what I guess would encourage me to create things.
No, fair enough.
Because I never really thought about that, actually.
It's all good. Well, I guess kind of to go more specific then. So what made you want to do the Avatar PvP system? Like, what kind of initiated that?
So at first, it was actually, and I told a bunch of people in the community as well, it was actually by mistake at first. 100% by mistake. There used to be this old VRChat like avatar testing world. I forgot the person's name. Something with an M. Was it not Mochi? It was I forgot exactly, but it was a really popular like avatar testing world. And in that world, if you had a particle on your avatar and had it to collide with a certain layer, it would actually shatter the mirror. So I was in the world with a few friends that one day, and this person came in and just like somehow broke the mirror, and for some reason that like absolutely blew my mind. Where I'm like, that is so cool because like the avatar did something to the world. I'm like, what? So at the time, I started playing around, and I was talking to a bunch of people that were into like roleplay groups, and the idea was to have it where you have this key card and you could hit it on the panel and it'll open up a door in the world with using a particle. So I was playing around with the Unity things that VRChat gave you, like the tools, and I was able to just I forgot, I think it was called on particle collision, like do damage, and I put the damage to like a bunch of 9s to see what happened. So I ran over, hit the key card on the terminal, and just crumbled into a ball. And like ragdolled and died, and it like cut it. My head just went like, "Oh my god! I just killed someone. I just killed myself. I can kill other people." So I tried so hard to figure out how to put colliders on people, like on your avatar, and then it just started from there. So the colliders on the body, and then just shooting someone with a particle, and then yeah, that's how it randomly started. It's just
Fair.
complete by accident.
No, that's cool though, because like it's some small little discovery like that, essentially evolved to what it is now, which is really cool to say the least. It's a goofy thing, right? But like at the same time, like this is what VRChat's about. It's finding little things and then making them and expanding upon them. So I guess kind of one of the things in that regard. So because if I remember correctly, you started AvatarPVP. Oh gosh, what was it? It was a while.
2009. Yeah, I had the video. So I put a test video out. I believe it was 2019, pretty much like late 2019 is when I actually like put like a world public for it. So we just had a 5-year anniversary, so I don't even. Oh, almost 6. I don't know. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute.
I believe your 6-year anniversary is coming up, if I remember correctly. From what we talked about off screen. But no, I mean that's really cool that you've been doing this for so long. So one of the questions I wanted to ask, because you've been doing it for so long, how has there been any like difficulties? Because obviously VRChat has changed a lot in the past 5-6 years. With SDK changes, constant like Unity updates. So has there been any struggle to kind of go from different Unity versions or SDK updates, or has it been kind of simple for the most part?
So it's actually only of recently. So I put together the current system that we use right now. Like at the time, I mean, still, I honestly don't. I don't really know how to code. Everything I use is called like Cyan Trigger. I don't know if you ever heard of Cyan Laser, but he makes it's an amazing thing that he's done. It's just amazing. I use that to put everything together. Or the system that I did. I learned a lot more. The one that everyone uses right now is I think almost like 3 years old. I didn't really know much when I was working on it at the time, so it's very like janky and doesn't work great. But there's been like in the past, there's like been a few problems with VRChat. One of them is how in certain worlds your avatar can ragdoll. VRChat's like worlds, like game worlds, see them. I don't know, like a few of those. They're kind of slowly disappearing because of like one reason as well. VRChat depreciates their combat system in the world. They put together this like they call it like a VRChat combat system. Like on their like forums or the canny, I don't know exactly. They have it like depreciated. So they're not even touching it. They're not even working on it. So every update they do, it's slowly just breaking. One of the main problems that we had as a community was during when Index came out. VRChat had a few updates because I don't know how this even works. But if you had the combat system in a world, it would, and you were using the Index headset, once you died and ragdolled, your avatar would go invisible. Like just completely invisible, and you would have to reset your avatar just to be seen by other people. So that was like a really big problem. As well as whenever someone would die, and they're switching avatars as they like ragdolled, the character would be stuck in a T-pose, running around, or like on PC mode, running around. So it was really that like kind of is a problem. So that's why when you die now, you just teleport, which is it's kind of upsetting. A lot of people miss the ragdolls because it's more fun to just see your friend like get shot and ragdoll instead of just disappear. But that was one big problem. Uh, as of recently, it is the system that I put together is slowly breaking. I think like the boss class is kind of broken or something like that. It's weird. So a lot of updates are doing like damage to it. So that's why recently I've been reworking on a new one. And then there's also another person as well named Snipesaw that's working on theirs, like a system to kind of just promote just interaction in general, Avatar PvP. So,
Oh, hell yeah.
That's problems are fun.
Problems are
good.
fun. Unity, am I right, fellas? No, it's a nonstop problem, but you know what? There's some features that gets better, some features get better in the future. But it's definitely a crazy thing. So I guess kind of to go into that, the beginning stages of Avatar PvP. So because obviously, we mentioned already it's been 5-6-ish years, depending on, when the episode comes out. So I guess kind of to ask in that regard, so what are some of like the origins of Avatar PvP? Like what was like the first steps, or like first examples of Avatar PvP?
So, which is kind of funny. When so this is the thing. Like like I say, it was it was kind of all a mistake in the beginning. It was just like an idea, and pretty much I put together that little simple world where it was like an old hub. The old hub world, I think, I sent you that thing. That was pretty much showing it was just a collider on your avatar. Like I think two. It was like one for the body, one on the head, and that was it. It was just one collider, and if it gets hit, it just does damage to you. And I released that for a while, and I remember one person named Ernsheim walking up to me, and he was like, "Hey, this is a really cool thing you got. I know a bunch of people that might like this." And it's like, "Oh, cool, yeah." It's like, "Here's the thing. Here's how you set it up." And it's like, "Oh, cool." And I'll talk to him here and there every once in a while. But I didn't touch the thing for like 3 or 4 months. I kind of was just within another group that I was a part of called the Adventurers Hall at the time, and I was just in there hanging out with them. They actually used it as well. Like we had like a whole tavern with it. Like, but this guy Ernsheim, I was just like, yeah, it's cool. Anyway, a few months go by. I'm in a world. I'm in one of my avatar worlds, hanging out with a few people, and all of a sudden the portal opens and like a bunch of people just come into the world. And they start like screaming, and as they're loading, there are a bunch of space marines, just a bunch of chaos marines load into the world. So like just doing like blood for the blood god or whatever, and just murdering everybody in the world because the world also had the combat system in it, like the thing I put together. So I'm like, so they just start killing everybody and murdering everyone for like 5 minutes, and then they drop a portal and they leave. So I followed them, and that's how I met the Warhammer community. It was the old world eaters at the time. The Warhammer community has completely like they're the ones that they like took this idea and turned it into something. So I really thank them for everything. Like thank you Warhammer. But yeah, so that was how it how it started in the beginning. Just like a simple idea, and I guess yeah, just found by the community, and they made it what it was, or what it is, what it is.
Fair.
So,
Yeah, I'll say Warhammer, the Warhammer communities, in fact, do go hard, as they always say. I know one of the ones that's constantly mentioned on this podcast, is the Blood Ravens. The Blood Ravens being one of the most
yes.
mentioned ones on the podcast. We've also had a few others mentioned, like the Ultramarines, Chaos Legion, Grey Knights. There's quite a few. There's a lot. The Warhammer community is very huge in VRChat. Like if you don't know about the Warhammer communities, just look up Warhammer. You don't even have to go to VRChat. Just look up Warhammer in general, and you'll find out.
It goes. It's an iceberg. It goes deep. All the community is the lore. It's like it's crazy, but it's awesome.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, so I was gonna say, obviously, Warhammer being one of the biggest ones. out there when it comes to PvP side of things. Because obviously with the ArcStation, which I guess for the general listening audience, just so we go and lose them a little bit, what exactly is ArcStation?
Okay, so that's a server that I run with a bunch of other people. It's pretty much a hub server. So the idea behind it was originally just to have this prefab. Like this is the prefab. It's it's how do I explain it? It's weird. I could go actually with saying what it is right now because we recently been pushing the whole community, and I have like a whole. Where is this thing? I'm gonna do that. That makes it so much easier.
Go for
explain. um, so okay, there you go. It's better when it's written down. Okay, there you go. So ArcStation is a VRChat community hub based on creativity, interaction, and having fun. We aim to create a server and environment for people to relax, enjoy, or just hang out after a long day of work, school life, while also focusing on being able to interact with your friends on a whole new level. Providing a place you can download prefabs based on this idea of interaction, letting players create their avatars or worlds and using them in like our events. So we host like free-for-alls and just where people can kind of just go at each other, have fun. It's not really any kind of it's a little chaotic, but we aim to push the limits of what VRChat can be. Not only the things we create, but each other. We have VRChat Community Hub, and all communities are welcome. So the idea is Avatar PvP isn't really an idea. It's not. I didn't come up with it. It's an idea that's been around for forever. Oh god, my hip trackers are dying. It's an idea that's been around. There's a bunch of amazing people that have also put together like Avatar PvP type things. Right now, we're trying to push ArcStation to kind of be like a hub where it's like, hey, this is what Avatar PvP can be. It's not just my system, not just snipes. There's a person that actually in Project Community, Fireteam VR, Spades, they're making an awesome thing that's like Avatar, where you could fight in any world you want, and like it's in depth, it's awesome. So they're doing like amazing things, and it's kind of just like to promote that in general. That's our idea. It's and just just download the prefab, hang out. That's really that's mostly what ArcStation's kind of going to be, or is trying to be. Not good at the stuff. But,
No, you're good. No, I mean that's fair. I would say because obviously with with ArcStation, you guys do also have some hangout worlds as well. That do kind of allow your community to kind of relax. Like I know you have the Warthog, and a few others. I've been there quite frequently. I'm not trying to be biased, but I've been there quite frequently. Mainly to see this goober, but
I feel bad whenever when I was drunk when you tried it.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I mean, it's a bar. It's a the Warthog's a bar. It's a very aesthetically pleasing bar, to be say the least.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I guess kind of to like go into that into the community side a little bit. So obviously you have like your main like PvP related events within all of the different communities and stuff. But what are some of the things that like ArcStation specifically does?
So we kind of do more events where it's like one of the main big ones that we do is like we call it a chaotic free for all. There's not really any balancing to this. There's Avatar PvP. It's like you kind of fight one another. Everybody creates different things, and it's never going to be fair. So, but every once in a while, we do events where it's like chaotic free for alls. Just anyone could bring whatever you want within reason. Within reason meaning like not just bombing the map, just like killing everyone instantly. So that's always a fun thing. A lot of people make amazing stuff. There's even like for avatar creators, you don't really have to even be a part of a community. It's just if you want to create something and like join, you can. There's a lot of people that make actually Monster Hunter monsters that are terrifying to fight. I saw someone get eaten by a wyvern once, which is really scary. So there's all different things you could do. It's not just guns. It's not just like fantasy stuff. It's not just military. Like, so we do free for all. Other ones we kind of do every once in a while. As has been a recent person named Lord Blackout came up to me talking about they're watching a lot of Terminator. So we've been doing this Terminator event where we get one side, like it's pretty much dodgeball. We get everyone lined up. you're a Terminator, you're a Survivor, Terminator, and we have them like split. Every half hour, they'll swap teams type thing. What we realized at ArcStation is that people want to show what they created and like use what they created. So we do more events pretty much based on where one team is what you get to use, like your characters that you put together, and then the other team would be just like a preset thing to fight, kind of thing. So everybody has that chance to like show what they put together and like use in a battle, which is fun. So it's kind of hard. Mostly is just right now free-for-alls and like events like that. I would like to start doing more boss events. Pretty much having one giant person or like one giant monster and everybody fighting that. So like everyone gets to use what they created. But it's mainly more of just a hub. We do some little events, but it's mostly kind of just like a hub server where you could download the prefabs and like kind of be a gateway for all these communities to be like, wait, there's there's Star Wars, there's like what, like just to see that kind of thing, to get everyone promote everyone together.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It's very chaotic though.
Yeah, I bet. Well, it's funny you mentioned like the giant, the boss offensives type stuff, because really early on in the podcast, I believe episode 3. We had Yuki from Kocho no Yakuza come on the podcast, and every year for Project Fest, they've held the Kocho no Boss Rush, which if you're not familiar with that, it's crazy what they can come up with. And honestly, if you guys ever do one for Project Fest, best believe I'm going to try to be there. Because I would love to see what you guys come up with. But they had that one Dark Souls boss in 2023, and then they had the Roomba from the Yakuza series, or the Like a Dragon series, depending on what country you're living in. I don't remember. I always forget which exact Yakuza game it was, but it was the giant Roomba that like in the game, like it sucked up like an old lady and like a bunch of other stuff. It was goofy. That was probably the goofiest of the that was the goofiest of the two. But man, it was fun, and I don't get to do a lot of PvP events often, but if I still have the footage on my computer, I'll throw it up on the screen. But actually, like getting to fight the Roomba, it brought something out in me, and I had a lot of Kocho people be like, "Yo, why don't you join like roleplay and PvP communities?" I'm like, I'm busy, like
I had one in actually, so his name Monty Anguish. He's kind of the event host that we have, and he's like the event host lead, and he does a bunch of like crazy stuff every once in a while. And I remember this had to be like 2 years ago, but Snipe put together a giant Roomba, like just a Roomba with a knife, like the meme of like that would go on the floor. It was this giant Roomba. So Monty, I think for April Fools, he was like, "All right, we're doing an event, everyone. We have this really big boss battle." And it's just this Roomba sliding around, like murdering people, just with a knife, and that was it. But it reminded me. Yeah, it's crazy. That's really cool.
It's honestly crazy what these Avatar creators can make when it comes to like the most goofiest bosses. I'm hoping we get some type of boss event again this year at Project Fest. Like I'm hoping somebody, whether it's Kocho or you guys or somebody, because those are probably one of my favorite events, is to see these new players come in and do PvP for the first time or roleplay for the first time, and just see like the most craziest, like full on RP, never RP before, but just probably the best RP I've ever seen, because they get into it, right? Like they are absolutely passionate about it, like and some of them they've played like D&D, like Dungeons and Dragons, or all these other role play games, and to see them immerse themselves, it's crazy.
It's insane,
and they'll usually go like 150% like in character. Yeah, like it's crazy.
It's so much more fun when you like try to get in character, and that was something in the clones, the like the Star Wars group. But I don't know if you had Corfus on here.
I did.
But
I did.
with Republic. So the first time I ever joined an event on them is that they kind of always had you get in character, and I swear, when you get in character and you're on a bridge shooting a blaster and you see red droid bullets flying and you turn around and you see your teammate get domed by a wrist rocket, it's actually terrifying. I have PTSD of wrist rockets after seeing that. It's just this purple blow, like little dot just flying and just disintegrated the guy. It's just like, but getting in character makes it so much more immersive and fun. You're getting into it, and it's yeah.
Oh, fair. No, it can definitely get crazy, to say the least. Well, I guess since we're kind of mentioning like some of the more of the PvP community, so obviously with the ArcStation, you have a lot communities of different fandoms, different types. So in a general, because obviously I doubt you know all of them off the top of your head, but in a general sense, there really is a lot. I remember seeing the video of the list. I'm like, holy crap, that's a lot. But like, what are some of the most like notorious when it comes to like the PvP groups of ArcStation? Like, what type of fandoms and stuff does it go into?
So it was mostly Warhammer off the start. I mean, they're the ones that kind of like adopted the whole system and turned it into what it is. So there's Warhammer in general. I couldn't even name them all. There's fantasy, Warhammer Fantasy as well. Where it's kind of more of the melee side of it, which is a lot of fun. And there's a lot of groups that kind of were really big and kind of inactive, but like used avatars. There's Destiny. There's a bunch of people that like use Destiny avatars. Oh my god, I don't even. Star Wars. There's the Daleks, which I never even thought would be like considered doing one for Doctor Who Daleks. I never thought of that. Yeah, mainly like I would think from like the oldest communities that are still active are definitely the Blood Ravens and the Necrons. What else there would be? They're the main two. Legions of Chaos as well. Trying to and the Daleks also, which is kind of funny. I only recently started talking to the Daleks a lot more, because in the beginning when I first put the system out, I saw a few of them, and then they vanished for like 3 years, and then they like all of a sudden they'll pop back. I'm like, where'd you guys come from? So, it's a lot of it, and it's always something that like we talk about in the community too, where it's like with online and like groups like this, it's kind of like seeing kingdoms like rise and fall. Like about like how like you see all these groups rise and then they kind of come down. It's like, damn, what happened? And it's crazy, but there's been a lot that are no longer active. But a lot of the people have like kind of went to other communities and groups within that still use it. So it's really cool though, and different. Yeah, this I don't even know. Yeah. From the top of my head, that's all I can really think of.
Fair.
I know there's more.
That's fair. Well, I mean, we'll probably throw a list or a video that shows like the current list or something. If you have, we'll find it. We'll find a list.
I'll do that. I'll put definitely.
Well, I mean, that's really cool. So obviously, it's very vast when it comes to the differentiations. Because I mean, yeah, you'd mentioned like Blood Ravens, Necron Empire, Star Wars with United Republic. I would say there's a lot. We talked about Fire Team. There is a lot. I know there's other ones too. Like you'd mentioned Destiny. I know there's like
Unreal. Gears of War. That's what it was too. Gears of War as well.
Gears of War. Oh my gosh, together. I forgot about Gears of War. Yeah, there is. Oh my gosh, I haven't heard about Gears of War in a while. Man, it has been a while. There's also like insane. The Death Corps. There's also like Marine Corps.
What was there? I don't even know all of them, to be honest. Yeah, there's too many. And then the whole thing, it's like the system, it's kind of meant like you don't have to like you could like come into the server, download it, and just like leave. It's totally up to you. You could do whatever you want with it. It's for fun. It's the spread interaction. But I know that's like what we're trying to push is like more of like if someone else knows how to put together a system, I think people will have fun to like being able to interact more. come on in, like please, we want to push the limits to what VRChat can be. So that's the goal here.
Well, yeah, because I was gonna say in that regard, right? Because you have the Avatar PvP system. A lot of people have been using that system to make worlds and to make more PvP worlds. I know we already brought the topic up, but like Corfuse, for example, makes worlds with it. There's a lot. There's so many. There's so many. If you look up PvP on VRChat on the client or on the website or on VRC list, you'll probably find quite a few. Depending on how many there are, maybe there'll be a VRC list down in the description with like the tag PvP, and just go to that. There's a lot. But like, I know there's I don't want to spoil too much because, it's not public yet, but I know there is somebody that's like working on some Halo related things, which would be really cool.
Yeah. Yes.
So I guess kind of
I'm in Halo right now.
Right. Well, yeah. Hello, everyone. Real quick, just want to pause the episode right here. I want to thank you all so much for the massive amount of support. We have one mega sponsor from Lieutenant Shadow. We also do have some supporters as well from Teal, Spooky Ghost Boo, and Fax Machine. Thank you all so much for all the amazing support. If you haven't heard already, we also do have a merch store as well, where you can get all the Noved Notes apparel, all the sorts of stuff. It'll be down at the very bottom of the description, so make sure to go check that out. I do want to thank you so much for watching this far. If you are watching and enjoying what you're seeing, feel free to hit that subscribe button. It does help me out. We are trying to get to 1,000 by the end of 2025. But with that, let's get back into the episode. Woo! Well, because there's also like, role plays that kind of focus more on the role play side rather than the PvP aspect. Like there's the Helldivers community, which I would love to see them do like an actual PvP event at some point. Cool. But they do I had Josette on the podcast. Really cool dude and just loves to cause chaos.
Yeah, they're awesome.
So I guess kind of one of the questions, because obviously you showed a little bit with your gun, but do you have any other examples of like some of the avatars that are used, for like some of the systems?
Yeah, I mean, so I could definitely, I could swap into some if you'd like. I don't know.
Go for it.
So, and I could also even like later, I could also make like a video too and like show as many as I can.
Sure, go for it.
So I'm trying to think something different. So there are like the stereotypical like the Warhammer, like Space Marines, Battle Brothers, which so let me try to find. There's let me represent the Blood Ravens real quick. I don't know if this is really can't.
It's all good. There'll be cuts in between the loadings.
Okay. All right.
I'll let you know. And you are okay. You might have to shrink down just a smidge.
Am I too big?
You might have to shrink down just a smidge. It is set to, I think it's set to 130. There you go. That's perfect. All right, you're good. Well, we're gonna shrink him down to size so you can see the full model. So,
it's like, the main. So, with this one is kind of cool. There's not just like murdering your friends or like killing them or anything. There's also more to it. So this is actually one of the apothecaries. You could also heal your teammates. So you could also heal your friends. You could interact that way as well. So you don't have to just be a murdering like psychopath. Which, if I have to figure out how to use this kind of equipment, healing spray. So I think it's. That's the wrong one. That's. I don't know which one it is.
That's your jetpack.
Oh, it's on this hand. Okay. So this is a little healing spray. We call it the Mountain Dew. The Blood Ravens always. So that's just one sample is like actually healing. Try to find other. I don't really have many. I might have to. Oh, I could bring out the Star Wars one. This is Corfuse's model. Actually, I'll probably be able to fit in the chair with this one.
Watch those wrist rockets!
And alright.
There you go.
This one my favorite. Just good old rocket launchers. They're always good.
Woo!
it's always something fun. Corfuse makes he puts together awesome avatars, so but yeah, I'll probably send you like a video of the bunch because there's Avatar worlds in the Warhammer community. Bruvadet put together a Warhammer world, which I could send you a link to if you want.
Yeah, for
That the whole Warhammer community kind of just puts that, like, all their avatars go into that world, and it's huge. It's a giant map. Like, that's literally just Warhammer. Then there's also, like, Core with the Star Wars. He's put together so many avatars in his Camino world. Same thing, like Destiny as well. The Gears of War, they have their own avatar. Like, world, the Daleks, I believe, even have their own, like, their home world has all their avatars in it. So there's a bunch of different. I was actually brought up to me by Lord Blackout, the person that was doing the Terminator event, to actually put together an ArcStation, like, avatar world just for people that aren't in a group. Just be like, hey, can you put these avatar IDs in the world, because I don't know how to do worlds. So to have, like, a public, just all random avatars in an avatar world that, yeah, just a random thing. So that was yeah, I'm trying to think what else. There's not really so many. There's a tank. I could turn into a tank. No, I'm joking.
I mean, if you want to make it small.
Sure. This is actually, speaking of small, this is a person named Kazrai. So going back to goofy avatars, this is just, it's Gargoyle with a bolter. So, you could just. It's just to have, like, that, like, chaos. It doesn't have to be like a really cool, shiny, amazing looking avatar. It could just be funny. It could be anything that you want. So,
I mean, technically, there is one other one. There is one other one that you had personally shown me, which was the Ugandan Knuckles with the PvP elements.
Oh, yes. Yes, that was, the Ugandan Knuckles. I want to redo that one. That needs an update. It's scary.
Oh my gosh. It's really crazy what you can come up with in that regard, though. Like, when it comes to, like, cursed avatars, like that's first and foremost, that's cursed. It does not like your full body at all. Fun fact. Oh, there we go.
There you go. I'll switch back to my. But I'm in the sky. Okay, there you go. Fancy. My.
Oh man.
That's.
Well,
there's
really
a bunch
cool.
of different people who've gone crazy with it. A lot of goofy ones. I think actually, Project Community. I don't know if there's. I'll have to talk to Flapjack and the Blood Ravens, but they put together that Project Community Marine with the spray can. I think the spray gun that actually kills people too. I think it was like a push effect or something, but they had that actually. That was like
I believe
a fun, goofy thing. So
I'm not sure about the Blood Raven or the Warhammer one, but I know Jonas von Holmster actually made a tank that did our graffiti egg.
That's cool.
Yeah, no, it's.
I remember seeing. Was that? What about the trolley? What was the trolley? Was that Wolveeps or was that Jonas as well?
I think that was also Jonas as well. I think I could be wrong. It could have been Wolveeps. I'll confirm with both them. Editor, put down who it was down in, like, right here somewhere. Just write down who it actually was. I'm pretty sure it was Jonas though. But no, it's kind of crazy what people like. There's vehicles. There's artillery, tanks. Like, there's all sorts of different types of things you can make. It's kind of crazy
100%.
to think about. There's gonna be a point. I'm not sure when, but there's gonna be a point to where I'm gonna have to change how I do the podcast for, like, the avatar creators. Specifically, like, especially ones that do, like, the big stuff that wouldn't really fit in this room. like Jonas Jonas is definitely one of them. Like, yeah, I could technically have him shrink down for, like, the vehicles and stuff, because I did that with Corfuse on his episode for one of the Ultramarines avatars. You had a mini, like, and the camera actually pointed down too perfectly.
Tank.
Yeah, it was him in a tank. It was just like a little mini, like, it looked like an RC version of it.
That's funny.
If you haven't seen that episode, go check out the episode. There'll be a little thingy up in the corner. Go check that out. But it's crazy what people can come up with in the regards of PvP avatars and worlds. So I guess kind of, to kind of go back into things, because obviously you've made some worlds yourself, when it comes to, Avatar PvP. Once again, there's a lot. This one will be a VRC list down in the description.
Oh, God. No, too many people. So no, it's a bunch. Yeah, it's a lot. So many.
I mean,
I'll
there's like
definitely try to
34
help,
worlds that
provide
he's
that
made. So, well, with VRC list, it auto grabs
God.
everything under your profile, so you don't got to worry about that one.
Okay. I thought you meant like just in general, not just mine. I was like, oh God, that's like
yeah. Well, in general, yeah, that one's gonna be a long list, but we'll see about that one. So obviously, you've made some PvP related worlds. Whether it's like Fae Forest, the Hive Home World, there's a lot. I'm not gonna name them all. Just go to the VRC list if you're curious.
not, not all of them are PvP on mine, but yeah, some of them are just like random worlds or really old ones.
Well, yeah, that's actually what I was going to go into. So obviously you have some more like hangout worlds, like you have Club Horizon, you have the Holiday Town, also like like meetup for meetup places like the Deployment Zone, the Warthog, which we've already talked about a little bit. So I guess kind of one of the things I wanted to ask, like I said, there's a lot. That's only like that's like a tenth of them, but kind of one of the questions I want to ask. So what kind of made you want to create, more chill hangout spaces, versus like more PvP related worlds?
So that's the thing. So like my idea was always like the whole reason I kind of put together the Avatar PvP. Like even though it was a mistake at first, it was kind of just a random idea. But I want to like kind of push the limits of like. So this is actually okay. I'll actually go back. VRChat at the time didn't have any way of like actually being able to interact with each other because contacts was not a thing when I first put this together. So in my head was like I want to try to like push what VRChat can be on the interaction type level. So you could kind of like how much can we like interact? So that's why I kind of always liked making worlds that are more of like a hangout for people just to like talk and chill in, but then also like have the opportunity to pull a gun out and like shoot each other. So like the Warthog, like you see people die all the time. But also I think, and I sent you one of the videos, it was like the pretty pink map, Sakura Valley. That was like one attempt to try to put together a map that's like beautiful, kind of like a little environment that's just like pretty. So then you walk in there, you're like, wow, this is really cool. So that when people fight on there, they could not only just be fighting, but also be like, wow, this is actually really pretty, and then like go back to killing. Just have like an idea.
Ooh, distraction.
It's space for interaction. Yeah, distraction. It's like, oh wow, look at that, and then it's like, oh, killing. And that's something that I'm gonna try to push more for like myself when I put together, because a lot of them I have to redo, and I lost a few like files for some of the maps. Because I'm reworking on like the system as well. I want to try to push more for it being not just for like PvP, not just like going in and killing each other. I want to push more for like LARPs and like for the RP communities. I want to put something together that they could even like use to just have more interaction if they want. Like it's totally like it's just a little fun thing that you can do. Like one of the, oh god, it was like 3 years ago. There was a person that came up to me. This is like during the like height of COVID when I was on a lot. And this person came up to me and they're like, "Hey, I really like the system put together." I think it was like their names was like Dogs, and like I forgot the numbers behind it. They haven't been on in like years, but they did real life like LARPs and stuff. Like they hosted real life things. And they were like, "Yeah, your system would be perfect for like a LARP type thing." So for like a few months, maybe 4 months, we did this thing called Dark Eclipse, and it was pretty much a LARP in VR using the system. it was so much fun because you instead of like I like role playing in VRChat, but like also you kind of have to be like, oh god, I'm hit, and like fall to the ground. And this you just get hit and you die. So it's kind of like forces the gap between of like having to actually like role play it more. You could just actually get hit and you know how much health you have and you could like react to that. But there's definitely interaction. That's kind of why more. I'm sorry, I went off on a tangent, but
No, you're good. You're
interaction would be
good.
more of for why like some of those worlds like just hangout worlds, because just to have fun, to be able to interact is really. I mean, the Warhammer community kind of took it to death and destruction, but I mean that's how it goes. Like, and I love it. It's amazing.
For
They
sure.
get to do what they enjoy. So,
Oh man,
yeah.
no, absolutely. So I guess kind of to go into the event side of things, at least with Avatar PvP, because obviously you were talking about the free for alls and stuff. So I guess like, what are some of the biggest events that you guys have held, when it comes to Avatar PvP?
Oh man, I don't think. I think that actually goes to the core. In the Ultramarines, they did like a big event at the time, but also, I mean, in like in ArcStation, we did. This is also with core at the time with the Star Wars group. We did a whole battle for Umbara, and we kind of like invited the whole like all the communities. I think we had like almost 60 something people at the time that joined, and it was clones versus droids, and that was a lot of fun. I actually have some videos I could send of that, like just clips from my perspective. It was terrifying. So just a lot really
Sure.
dark though, a dark map. But also there was this is during the Ultramarines. I think it was their first year anniversary. They want to do a big thing. From what I was told, I think it was like 84 people or something like that, like a ridiculous
Wow.
amount. Just going in the back. I don't know how their computers like handled that. So I wasn't there, unfortunately, for that. I was at work, but supposedly there's a lot of people that joined that event. Like, yeah. And as of late, I think the most recent one was like another like 70-person battle when there was a big event. So I joined one. Was it last? I think like last week they did a narrative battle of the 40K community. I think it was like 40 to 50. So they definitely like pull a lot of numbers when they like bring the whole community together. So,
No, I mean
it's insane.
that must have been a chaotic event, like, because there's been a few events that I haven't been, but I've seen like the numbers and stuff, and just to have all of those particles flying around, like, I guess one of the best examples I could give, because this VOD actually came out recently, was from the Project Fest 23, the inter-community PvP event, where it was like the Blood Ravens, the Daleks, the United Republic, and I'm going to forget the fourth one. I always forget the fourth. Krieg. It was the Krieg. Yeah.
Krieg, that's crazy. The video was awesome.
Yeah,
watching the trailer.
Like
I love that.
It was a crazy thing. And hopefully more collaborative events come out with those, because those are probably the most chaotic but yet the most fun to like be a part of. It's a pain in the spoiler alert, it's a pain in the ass to record, but it is a cool it is a cool event to be a part of. Like, I wasn't even on the stream team at that time, but watching the footage, because I had to go over the footage for the YouTube side. It was pain. It was pain. But it is really cool though. But we got more camera systems now with VRChat, like with the new Dolly system and everything now. To where like
that
you can
cool.
where you can like pre-program stuff for like worlds, cool. And do like JSON files. Oh yeah, 100%. It's super nice. Well, now it's funny enough, because this is actually topical at the moment. So with the recent release, granted we are recording this on March 13th. So they actually just released in the open beta, they released a drone feature. Like an actual drone, not like camera flying, but like an actual drone that you can control.
That's actually insane. Okay.
And I have no idea how it works yet. I haven't tested it out myself, But if it's used for like, because it uses camera
I
perspective.
didn't see.
It just came out like
I didn't know it
2
was
days ago.
drone.
Yeah, it was like 2 days ago.
So, what was funny because like before I joined you, there was a person that joined me, and they were using the. I didn't know they added a drone, but I was just about to say the desktop with a webcam thing. That's insane.
Oh yeah, the
You
VTuber
can move
like
your hands
thing.
on desktop.
Yeah, no, it's kind of crazy.
Insane.
VRChat is cooking some
We're
new
in the
features.
future.
Like
They're insanely cooking.
yeah, well they're
crazy.
using the same. If I remember correctly, they're using the same as like VTuber like tracking stuff. When it comes to that, which is nuts.
Cool. Yeah, it's gonna be insane. Like, oh my god. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go off with the drone thing,
you're
but yeah,
no,
it's just
you're
like,
good. No, you're
they're
good.
cooking.
No,
VR, this is the future.
the fact that it's going to be eventually, hopefully, knock on wood, hopefully it'll be in base game soon. For all to enjoy, but it is an open beta right now. So if you go to the Steam thing, you go, for those that don't know, if you go to Steam, go to properties, go to beta, you can hit open beta. You could do all the stuff that we just talked about. You could do it now. It might be it might be released by the time this episode comes out. Who knows? But it is really cool that the last probably a couple of months now, the last couple of features that they've added, it's been absolutely insane. Yeah, exactly. but yeah, so I guess speaking of like features and stuff, because obviously with the Avatar PvP system, there is a lot of features that come with it, when it comes like how it works and everything. So I guess as much detail as you want to go into, because I know there's a lot, but like what are some of like the main things when it comes to like the Avatar PvP system, like the different classes and like
oh man, okay.
I know there's a lot. Welcome to the GoFluffYaSelf masterclass.
Oh god, I don't even know if I could. Okay. So the way I have it set right now, is pretty much there's game modes. So I have the main menu board, and there's game modes. You have the 40k game mode, regular, which is like kind of just assault, which was my like just a simple one where it's like you have like just an assault guy, a support, and a brawler, kind of just like very like 5 of them, just nice and simple. Pretty much everyone is set with the same amount of health, so they all have 2,000 health. Depending on what class you pick, changes how much damage you take, kind of thing. So if I'm like the heavy brawler, I don't even know. This is just a random number. Like let's say it's like 10 hits to the body or something like that. And then if I'm assault, it's only like 2 hits to the body. So pretty much every single time that collider gets hit with a particle, it'll do a set amount of damage. So, and you have 2,000. It's all math hurts brain. But it's pretty much each class changes how much damage you take. The second thing I would think is like, so there's the game modes, the classes, and then there's like the effects that you can get. Trying to make it, which actually with the system that I'm working on right now, I'm not really changing, well, kind of not changing anything big because this is like everybody's put together so many avatars for it, so we really can't. But the way it kind of like works in a way to make it more fun of how the community has been using it. But there's a bunch of effects, so a bunch of effects. There's walkthrough, which is the normal damage. That's just like a normal like, oof, got hurt. There's healing. There's fire, there's ice, there's a speed boost, you could be slowed, you could be stunned, you could also get pushed, so if you have a collider you could like kind of smack someone and push them away from you. What was the other? There's shield, which will give you pretty much, it'll double the damage that you can take. So if you take 10 damage, it will be 5 damage whenever you get hit, because when you have the shield buff. There's a bunch of different effects that you can either like hurt someone, your friends, or actually heal your friends, so it's totally up to you. It's just to have that, like, again, that interaction, that like being able to actually do something different with your friends, like in an adult different way. What was other? Trying to even think. I feel like I'm missing one. Cancel. There's a cancel effect that's like, at the time I played a lot of Overwatch, so like on a anti-heal, you kind of throw that at someone or hit someone with it, they can't get healed. Eventually that's actually going to be where you can't get any buffs, which will be like a good like negate type thing. Yeah, it's been it's a lot of different effects that you can use to interact with each other. I don't really know. Yeah, I can't. I don't know
No,
how
it's
in
all
depth I could really go with it without like my brain dying. A lot of
lots of
numbers.
numbers and lots of numbers and lots of difficulty tweaks, we can call them. But but no,
So,
it's really cool, like how much, like if any of y'all have never seen like some of the systems, we'll throw some footage on the screen of like some of the old systems versus like the newest system. Because there's a lot. There's been a lot of change. Now you have like the nice little fancy UI, where because it used to
it's
be, if I remember correctly, it used to
I'm
be
trying.
like a giant graphic with like just
Cubes.
with cubes.
It's just cube. The community always like this is like an ongoing joke that's like the cube where we worship the cubes because everything was cubes and they would always just like run at them. So they always say like go to the cube whenever clicking and entering a battle. This is really weird, but none of it was UI, and I've actually like since then I've learned a lot more too. I don't know if I send it to you, but I was trying to put together like add-ons to the system. Like it's not just like there's a microphone prefab pretty much that I tried putting together. And again, I could probably do that now way better, but it's pretty much a little microphone you pick up and you're able to like have your voice global. So like all the event hosts really like using it and people like putting it in their worlds. Flyers having a people like Avatar PvP is about using your avatar in battles and stuff like that. So what if the idea was that you have a plane, like the plane, like remember the old VRChat jetpack system
Yeah.
that you can grab and like fly around with? It's pretty much that. I ended up finding a really old one of that and like somehow deconstructed it and was able to do it again. I don't know how I did that, but I did it. Having where it's a seat in the collider with health, and you get to make your plane. So your avatar is the fighter jet because you could kind of do that, and people have made some crazy stuff with that. And yeah, it's just too many things there. uh, Microphone, planes. It's yeah. That's one goal is to try to do more for the community, like different, not just the system itself. There's like little add-ons to it.
No, for sure.
Been cooking. The
Yeah.
community's been cooking as well.
Oh, the
Making the
community's
things
always
like crazy.
cooking.
They're always and that's like one thing too is like and how much I can't say enough like thank you to like the Warhammer and just all the communities in general is that they've constantly like pushed the limits of like not only themselves but each other. Like people like one person like it's kind of like the old VRChat where you put something together, you're like, wow, I can't believe I did this. Let me show other people how to do it, and everybody kind of like learns from each other. It's like that with the Warhammer community. When someone figures something out, they're like, guys, check this out, and then they just like show everyone else how to do it, and it's like some crazy stuff, like it's insane things that they do. So yeah, it's always that's like a goal is like to push each other and the limits of VRChat.
No, absolutely. And
Yeah.
I mean it's now officially like the biggest PvP system used in VRChat now. Whether you like to think so or not, like it is. I mean, the list of how many communities, like it's a lot.
It's
like
crazy.
So
It's
I
actually
guess
crazy.
I guess kind of on a more personal matter, like because you started this as an accident and expanded upon it over the years. So what's kind of the mindset looking back, like obviously yeah, you said there's a lot of people to thank, but like how does it feel now that you've been doing it for 5 years, 6 years, depending on when this episode comes out?
I'm
How's it feel?
I'm like more of like honored to meet everyone that I have because of it. Like, and what's cool about VRChat is you get to like talk to people all around the world, and it's just being able to like get to know all these people and like it's great. I got invited to someone like their wedding that's gonna happen at the end of the year. I can't say the names, but I was like, oh my god, like what the like it's
What?
grateful. I'm really grateful for it.
That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, no, it's people that I've known for a few years. Yeah, and they know, like, it's like, wow. So, it's just extremely grateful for it. It's wild. Yeah. It makes me want to do
make a
more.
joke.
That's one thing too.
I was gonna make a joke about like, all right, now to bring Avatar PvP into the real world. Like, no, don't do
Oh
that.
my god.
No, just walking up to the wedding, just like,
Yeah. Oh no. No, it's crazy. I'm like, wow. But it does, like, I want to do more too. I want to try to, like, I see everyone that's like so passionate about it, and it's like, oh my god, and then it's like, okay, I got to do more now, and it's like keep trying to do more. So that's yeah. It I don't even know how to explain it. It's really really weird. I'm just extremely grateful and like honored. It's the main thing. And yeah.
no, I mean
It's
that's
crazy.
totally fair. Yeah, no, of course. So, I guess kind of one of the things I wanted to ask, because obviously, you've been working on this for years. So for like those who are interested in creating stuff, whether it's, systems or worlds or avatars, what's like a piece of advice that you can give for somebody who's like interested in, doing that type of stuff?
Uh, I would. Oh man. I would. So for pretty much like never give up. That's like one thing. I have bashed my head against the keyboards, like figuratively, not actually bashed my head, but like, it's just like I've kind of like it nothing. Especially with Unity, there will be a lot of suffering involved, but it is worth it. It is 100% worth it. It for just like talk to people. Like also, there's one person that I've known for a few years now. I know they're slightly shy. I don't know if I'll say their name, but like they went to me one time and they're like, I want to start doing this. How do I do this? And I'm like, oh, this is how you do this thing. And they're like, cool. And they just went and asked a bunch of other people. And they know how to do things like way better than I ever could. Like they took like they just ask people, ask for help. You will it's insane. People will love to show you what they're working on and create, especially in VRChat. So like if you're going around, if you want to like learn how to do something, to like talk to certain like people, that'll definitely help. Uh there's a lot more tools in VRChat now than there was probably when I started back in 2017 and stuff like that. That would definitely like that help you create. Like it's so much easier. And VRChat with their creator companion made it so much easier to be able to use Unity now, which is insane. I wish I had that when I started. There's like it's yeah, never give up and definitely like always ask for help, but like wanting to learn something. There's so many resources. If you want to like worlds, Cyan Laser. You should use Cyan Laser, the Cyan Trigger, and not Cyan Laser. Cyan Triggers, made by Cyan Laser. It's really good. I don't know
There
if
you
you
go.
should have him on the podcast. They're amazing.
Hey, if he's interested, I'm 100% down. I have no idea how to get in contact with him, but hey, Cyan, if you ever want to come on and talk about, all of your stuff, send me a tweet or a Blue Sky post, something. We'll make it work. If you're ever interested, I'm always down to talk to devs and learn more about like the origins and stuff. It's crazy what people can make, man. It's absolutely insane.
Especially in VRChat.
Oh
It's
yeah.
wild. Anything. It's the virtual 3D version of the internet. You'll find anything here. It's crazy. It really is.
No, fair. It's definitely crazy to think about. So I guess kind of got a couple like maybe a few questions left because we're a little bit out of time, but I do wanna get as much as I can.
Okay.
Out of
I'm
you.
sorry.
No, you're good. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not worried about it. So I guess kind of because obviously with the hub world, right? There's been many different iterations of it. So I guess kind of just because there'll be footage up on the screen, but kind of going from like the first hub into the current hub, like what were some of like the biggest changes that you've made?
Kind of the So
Start
the
from the
idea
start.
kind of kept the same. It's weird. Okay. For the first one, it was like the old hub. It was just this like kind of random idea. It was just this like floating disc with like discs above it. It was red. Just this like I forgot what audio I had, but it was just like a random thing just to like try to catch people's eyes. And then I went on to I think I was like the first test where I always enjoyed Phantasy Star Online, where it was like that big like a warp gate portal that you could just jump into and go somewhere. So that there was an attempt on like trying to put that together. Then I had another idea of having almost like kind of I think it was in the bridge and the attempt number 2, where you kind of open up a door because I like this catching people's eyes. So you open like you kind of walk through this door, and it's like this hologram, and it's a big open area, and each little area has like something about it. So like avatars, and then like vehicle avatars, or like learning how to heal people. Like there's ways you could go to. That was one idea, but then we ended up like kind of just going with the hub that it is now, which you kind of the gate opens up, and it's just a bunch of statues in the middle of all the different communities, and then you kind of have like a wing to each side, like you're in this big dome. That was kind of the idea. There wasn't really. It was more just how can like for a person that doesn't know where they are or just traveling through could just go into a world and be like, wow, what the heck is this place, kind of thing. That's like the only goal that was in mind of just designing it. It was like to have people like captivated. But that's kind of where we're at now is like the hub world. I think it looks nice. I don't know. Hopefully, it has
I
a
think
cool
a lot of
front
people
desk
could agree.
and microphones on it. So yeah,
No, fair. Um,
for that.
so I guess kind of one of the other questions in that regard, because obviously there's a lot of I don't know if you want to call them like inside jokes per se when it comes to like the Avatar PvP scene. I know one of the things you had sent me, and I want to briefly touch on this because I don't know the lore. I want to talk about Virgil.
Yes.
So
love Drew the fish no summer.
So what for the general listening audience, what is Virgil? Where did it come from? What does he do?
So Virgil is actually just an awesome individual. It's Virgil Salitz. He's actually the person that like as of right now is the media team lead and like the whole like ArcStation. He does amazing renders. He actually like for communities. If you ever see him, he would probably be more than willing to like do renders for anyone. He's super cool. 2 of his renders actually are official emotes in the Helldivers like official Discord. You actually see like it say Virgil Salitz at the end of it. But yeah, that was just he's always using that fish and the warthog, and whenever he's like the bartender. So he's always behind the bar and in like either a fish or a the T-Series droid from Star Wars. So that's so just yeah, we always meme on the fish. It's like a little thing in the community during the warthog. And whenever the fish is just yeah, he's always there, but he's awesome. An awesome guy.
Oh, fair.
God damn it. I forgot about that. I forgot I said that.
You put it in the ticket. I'm like, I gotta talk about this. He loves you, Virgil. I hope he knows that. But no, it's definitely funny. Because obviously with the chaos that ensues with all these communities, there's always going to be some inside jokes and everything.
Yeah.
So funny enough, one of the I still think this is probably the funniest thing you guys have done to date when it comes to Avatar PvP ArcStation. And I hope you're not doing the same thing. I really hope you go full out this year. But you know exactly what I'm about to bring up. So at Project Fest 2024, instead of making like a booth, you had your simple fold out table.
Avatar PVP is fun and changed my mind. That actually worked really well, surprisingly.
It did.
People
I'm
walked
not
over, they're like,
gonna
"What
lie.
is
I'm not gonna lie. It worked out really well, and I still have people talking about it to this day. Like whenever, because with Project Community, we now hold Wednesday How's Your Progress meetups at 5 p.m. 5 p.m. Central for all of our representatives and stuff.
Okay, oh, shit.
And some of them are new representatives, and we'll I guess one of the examples I'll use, because we had a community that just got accepted. It was them and two of their staff members. They came and kind of asked a bunch of questions and stuff about like the temple booths and everything, and how custom booths are and whatever. Which we now have a lot of documentation for that now, which it's been a godsend when it comes to answering questions. But so we had gone around, and they had asked me, they're like, so we saw this fold out table, just it's like a green fold out table, and I'm like, yes, Avatar PVP, one of the big so there are people still to this day asking about the fold out table, just letting you know. Hopefully you guys have a little bit more this year.
Yeah, so we definitely will. It was kind of funny because during because you made the announcement, I think it was for the submissions. Great, is that the boots? Yeah, you guys did that, and someone was they were talking to me about it, and they're like, all right, we had a meeting, and they're like, all right, what are we gonna do? And I'm like, I had an idea. And one person's like, all right, time to whip out the fold out table. I'm like, no, wait, it's we gotta know. We can't do that.
It's so good.
Time to whip out the fold out table.
Time to whip out the fold out table. No, I to this day, it's still, that's one of the booths that's always talked. There's I'm not gonna say all of them, because they know who they are. I've talked to them about it. You'll I will say with this upcoming year, I am excited to see. I've already gotten teased a lot from representatives and stuff when it comes to their upcoming booths. Holy crap, this one's gonna be crazy. We thought that 2024 was crazy. Oh my gosh, some of the booths have been teased. Wow,
man, hell yeah.
With the limitations, are still pretty much the same from last year, but people are finding more ways to optimize their booths and make it into one texture and all this other stuff, and it's crazy.
That's cool.
I think
that's really cool.
I think I don't remember. I know who it is. I'm not gonna leak the person specifically, but I know one of my homies who made a booth custom this year. He got it down to, I think, 1 megabyte, and it looks phenomenal. Or 1 or 2 megabytes for the entire booth, with everything included, with animations, particles, everything. And I think it's 1 or 2 megabytes.
Oh, that's so cool.
And I'm like, that's crazy, because it's a 50 megabyte. If I remember correctly, it's a 50 megabyte max.
Wait, is it real? Oh my god! Oh,
I think so. Yeah, we prefer not to be, but
Yeah, no, yeah. That's really cool.
Or unpacked, I guess is what I should say. It's 50 megabytes unpacked, I think is what it is. But no, it's crazy what people can do, man. Man, that fold out table still gets people to this day, though, and I think that's absolutely hilarious.
That's our recruiting avatar that we use. It works actually. Just sit in the world, plop it down as the recruiter, and just wait, and people come up because they're like, "What is this?"
Something that I would love to see you guys do, because there's gonna be areas where there's not booths or anything. Just have one of your people go over there and just place down a VRC constrained booth right there, and just be
the fold out table.
just the fold out table. Make an actual booth this year, and then have somebody with the fold out table just at the ready.
Probably hang out near the Blood Ravens if they're in there again. Just with the fold out table, be like, "Hey guys, look at this."
Oh man, because it's been crazy. The feedback from the PvP communities, because all of them loved having that little area. I personally reached out to all of them. They loved having that little area.
Awesome. The Thunderdome. Everybody
yeah,
else, that's what people are calling it.
the Thunder Cube. It was just a cube, the Thunder Cube. But no, hopefully down the line we'll be able to expand a little bit on it, and we'll see.
Yeah.
Somebody was asking if there would ever be a point where PvP communities would get their own world. I'm like, there's got to be at least 100 before that happens. Like,
oh god, I doubt that would ever go. Jesus.
Like, if somebody wants to make a themed world off of it, go for it. But it wouldn't be under our stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but
that'd be crazy.
Hopefully we do see some more events from collaborative side when it comes to PvP communities and all that type of stuff.
I definitely want to do more. That's something that we're thinking about. We're gonna try to do an event, maybe even a boss fight or an affection, because we had that. Because I've been working on a bunch of like the system lately, but would definitely like to do an event, or I'll try to submit one.
For sure. But yeah, well, that's cool, man. Dude, Fluff, thank you so much for coming on and talking to me for a little bit over an hour.
Thank you.
This was a blast.
Thank you for inviting me. It was awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
I never did this before, so I don't know where this camera.
Well, cool. I could say awesome. I was your first podcast. Smile.
Let's go. Really cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Excitement.
So I guess this is more of a personal question at this point. So why did you come up with the name GoFluffYaSelf?
Oh god, it's a curse and an amazing thing. My IRL friend at the time, so this actually goes back to Xbox One. Originally my friend was saying to me, he's like, Xbox Live Chat, everybody used to like say, swears and stuff back then. I never said anything. I never said the F word. I always said fluff instead of that. So my friend's like, why not just make your name GoFluffYaSelf? And I'm like, you know what? That's amazing. And I did it. I gotta say, trying to play like competitive Overwatch and like finding a party, there's so many times where I joined and I'm like, hey guys, and they're just like, F you, and then just kick me out, like say my name and they just kick me. It sounds like a toxic name, but I can assure you, I'm an absolute goober. I can't be mean. I'll cry if you're mean to me. No, I'm joking. No, but it's like, it's the name. Yeah, it's a very ironic name. My friend, my IRO friend, he plays the game every once in a while. Named Ruby. He gave me the name, and I just stuck with it. And I haven't had any problems trying to get an account made for a game because of this name has never been taken.
That's kind of surprising to say the least.
Right? That's right. That's what I would have thought. But no, I have no problem being able to make an account for stuff because it's just not there. So
fair enough.
It works. It works a lot.
Well, Fluff, before we do
dogs.
But before
my dog is right in my room, sorry.
Yeah, you're good. I'll say before we do end things off, I do want to give you a spot to kind of tell people where they can find you, all the links you want on the screen in the description, any shout outs you want to make.
Oh man. Okay.
But yeah, go ahead, take it away. Tell them where they can find you.
Okay. You can find me through like either VRChat, AvatarPVP Discord, the ArcStation. You could VRChat. I have the YouTube for like ArcStation YouTube thing. Mainly Discord. But also I guess like a huge like thank you to the Avatar, like just the Warhammer community, the Star Wars, the Gears of War, the Daleks, wouldn't be able to name everyone. All the people that I've met and kind of supported this and created things and kind of pushed me to do more. Thank you to everyone, Virgil, Almighty, Monty, Snipe, Hillbilly, like Flapjack, and thank you guys. Awesome, and yeah, thank you so much for having me here.
Yeah, of course. No, it was an honor to get you on. I know we rescheduled it because of my failedness. But
so good.
dude, it was
Oh,
an
good.
honor to get you on, and hopefully a lot of people will from the PvP communities will enjoy this. Because a lot of them know who you are, but
Thank
you're so just like everybody else, they're busy as hell. So hopefully people will kind of enjoy kind of learning a little bit of the origins and how things how things came out.
Definitely, thank you.
Yeah, of
It's
course.
gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
I don't. Is it the recording? I have no idea. Let me. Sorry, my dog just ran in my room.
You're good.
Scared the hell out of me. Okay.
But yeah, of course, all of the links will be down in the description below. So please make sure to go check all that out. Make sure to join, their Discord, the VRC group. Literally, go join all of it. All of it is amazing stuff. There's also many different events that are through PvP communities. You could watch all of them on YouTube or whatever the case may be. But with that, I do want to thank you all so much for watching, listening, depending on what platform you're on. This has been episode 59. Yes. Of the Noved Notes podcast. I want to thank you all so much for watching, listening. If you did enjoy what me and Fluff talked about, feel free to click that like button down below. Of course, I want you to comment down below. If you're part of the PvP community, I'm going to make 2 comments. If you're a part of the PvP communities, comment down below your favorite event that you have done with the AvatarPVP system. Now, if you are newer and kind of learning for the first time about PvP and stuff, what is a fandom of PvP that you have not seen yet that you would love to see implemented into VRChat? I think those are some good ones. But of course, and hopefully, some of the PvP community will, comment down below their stuff. But of course, if you are coming back to check out some of the other episodes, why not hit that subscribe button? You're already coming back anyway. And with that, I want to thank you all once again so much for listening, watching, depending on what platform you're on. And I will see you in the next episode. Take care and peace.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Noved.